Okay, so good evening, everyone. Um, I practiced law at a large law firm for about 2 years before I realized that it was a terrible fit for me. Just basically everything about it, from the long hours to I was doing corporate work, so I felt like a lot of what I was doing was making rich people richer, which is never what I wanted in my life. From having to sometimes drop everything to coming to the office and just not being passionate about the work and actually seeing things really more interesting on the business side than the legal side. I was like, I have to make a change. I have to do something. This isn't working for me. So I actually started just exploring other options. For me, it really was a question of, do I make a small change? So do I go to a smaller law firm? Do I switch to a different practice area? Or do I make a massive change and just say, I'm going to do something completely different. I'm not even going to practice law anymore. I read a lot of books on different careers. I took assessments. And actually ended up in the class with Atlanta. I thought I might want to do some career counseling or career coaching. So it was partly because I was interested in that as a profession, but partly also because it did help me kind of refine a little bit, like what do I want to do and what would be a good match for me. I thought I would make a small move. I thought I would go in-house. And the perfect opportunity arose where my firm seconded me to a financial institution, and it was a terrible, terrible experience. It was worse than the law firm. And I was like, okay, big change. Like we're not gonna do this little thing. So I ended up, a friend of a friend was a career counselor, and I started working with her. Told her that I was interested in also being a career coach or career counselor. And we started talking about different opportunities. And for some reason, we started talking about money management, personal finance. And I was like, oh, I can help you with that. And she was like, I've never heard you talk more passionately about helping people manage their money than, this is the most passionate I've ever heard you talk about anything. So I explored becoming a financial planner. I was like, I'm going to be a certified financial planner. I created an LLC. I was studying. I was ready for this. And all this while I'm still at the law firm, and decided, you know what, I'm not going to stay at the law firm while I do this, but to become a CFP, you actually need to have practice. Like, you need to have a certain number of hours you work with people on their finances. So it's like, I'll get a job at a nonprofit. This was in 2009. This was the height of the foreclosure crisis. So I started counseling people who were in danger of losing their homes around finances. Like, I did training around it. I started doing this. And then decided that I didn't like working directly with people one-on-one. I was doing this and I was like, yeah, no, this isn't working either. But I loved working at the nonprofit. I was really doing nonprofit management. I was creating programs, really all around helping people build their financial capability, their financial awareness. So I was at the nonprofit for about 4.5 years. Was invited to apply for a job at Capital One to start a new grant program.
And just one quick follow-up question, then we'll move on. So as you were going through that, I mentioned the inner critic. What was sort of the noise in your head or the story in your head you were telling yourself as you were making that change?
Oh, is this a terrible, terrible mistake? People don't understand why you wouldn't want to practice law anymore. I was very lucky that my parents were very understanding and weren't like, are you crazy? Why are you doing this? You spent all this time and money. But there was a lot of, there's that sunk cost. Like, I've already put so much into this. Why would I decide to do something totally different? To do something that you don't need a law degree for is really difficult to get to. It's really difficult to wrap your mind around that. But I don't regret it one bit.
Good.